Are we live?
I have no idea.
I thought you were playing intros and stuff.
I was trying to. StreamYard's just frozen on me, and it just said live. What the hell is wrong with StreamYards?
We're live. Hello. What?
I said, what the hell is wrong with StreamYards? It didn't
I
play
don't
the
know.
video. It's according to my thing, it's still playing the video.
Let me check this stream. Nope. Not playing. Which one do you want me to play?
Well, I was gonna do the countdown, but if we're already live, let's just go ahead
We
and
did
play
the countdown.
Just play the theme. Maybe it'll do better on your end.
When you all must have heard I'm a real nerd. People say I'm a fool, but they never got the news that I'm a wild one. Oh yeah, I'm a wild one. You better turn it up, better keep the channel dialed, cause you're watching Wild Mike and his real wild child. Oh yeah, I'm a wild one. You better turn it up, better keep the channel dialed, cause you're watching Wild Mike and his real wild child.
Walking Klingon style. Howdy, folks. What's going on? LDG here, along with Vile Mike. Vile Mike's experiencing some kind of technical difficulties. So, how's everyone doing? Go to the chat. CCDV. Hey, what's up, boss? Good to see you. Yeah. I mean, as soon as Vile gets back here. Marius Soul, what's going on? Good morning.
Wait, can you hear me right now?
Richapu. Now I hear somebody. Hello?
Okay. That was weird. StreamYards did not play the video for me until the last 5 seconds. Then it muted my mic and didn't unmute. I have no idea what the hell just happened.
For you, for 10 seconds into the play, which was weird. It didn't mute you right away. I don't know, man. You know, I switched over to Brave, so don't know if that'll help you or not, but definitely helping me on YouTube.
I'm gonna reload the page and see what happens.
How many? What do I have? Yeah, I think Vile, did you reboot? We can't hear a thing if you're saying anything. Richie Poole, what's going on? Yvette, darling, how you doing? See ya, Gorilla. What up, Gorilla? Howdy, folks. Looks like he's taking my advice and rebooting. So let's just turn LG. How was your week? You guys good? Scale 1 to 10. I give my week about a 8.5. Could have been a 10, but I'm hoping for a 10. I'm hoping for a 10 next week, actually. I'm hoping for an 11 next week, actually. Still in negotiations. Love it. Now LDG is doing it. Now LDG is doing what? No, I sound all right. Yeah, sound good on my end. Oh, here's Vile again. Try this again here. Vile, Earth the Vile. Violet, are you in the Matrix? Do you? And Vile's really been having some problems the last couple of weeks. I don't know what it is.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Odd.
I had my speakers muted. I couldn't hear a damn
There
thing.
we go. I heard a damn thing. I just the damn thing. That's all I heard was damn thing.
I said I had my speakers muted and I couldn't hear a damn thing.
Ah.
All right, so
Okay.
yeah, as soon as
Sound back.
I hit the go live button, StreamYard's decided to freak the fuck out. Because I hit the countdown, it said it was starting the countdown. I hit the go live button, and then like it just froze on me. It didn't play it started the countdown at I went down to 27. It stopped on 27. Continued counting down on the little window where it says it's playing the video, but wasn't counting down on the screen where it's showing what's playing on YouTube. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? It said that the countdown on the video was done, but nothing was going on. Then it started playing the video for me again, at least on the YouTube window. And I could hear LDG talking, but apparently I wasn't being able to be heard because StreamYard still had my mic muted because it thought the video was playing.
Yeah, sounds like some kind of odd lag thing. We gotta get you some better internet.
It was definitely a StreamYard thing.
But we can hear you now. Morning.
Let me go ahead and just go ahead and say it. Howdy, folks, is not howdy, folks.
God.
Let's see.
How you doing?
Oh, God, we got a lot of people in the chat already. Richie Poole saying we don't have problems with words and definition. What are you saying?
And CCDV's here.
Hello, hello.
Morning, morning.
Yes, good morning. And by the way, just so that it's an actual CNA stream, tobacco, alcohol.
How you going, man?
I'm afraid I don't have any caffeine.
Caffeine.
But it is Sunday morning, so I have absolutely nothing to do. So here I am. Here am I, so, maybe is the better way to say it.
Gorilla's in the chat. Yvette's in the chat. Mrs. Vile's in the chat, even though I don't think she heard me because I was having issues.
Miss Mrs. Vile? Where's Mrs. Vile?
Yeah, she said, good morning, hand pink waving. I'm guessing that was supposed to be a thingamajigger.
I should turn off my camera.
Emoji, whatever.
There.
Yeah, that might help because the way StreamYards is running right now.
Mr. CC.
And apparently I was roboting pretty bad.
You are still roboting a little bit, but not nearly as bad as you were at the beginning of the stream.
Well, I definitely got to get a new laptop. Maybe I can get a Christmas deal and get a good laptop.
That's not a bad idea, actually. New laptops are almost as good as the desktops from 5 years ago.
What's funny is for my day job, I was supposed to do some online training for a project. And none of my devices were compatible with the training program.
Oh, that is awful. That is just awful. Now, yeah, my phone and my my
hold on. Here's the
desktop.
thing. The training program is designed to work with the tablets that they provided us. Okay, this is my work tablet. It didn't work with my work tablet, and it's optimized for mobile devices like tablets and phones. So they said,
Right.
"Can you try to do it on your phone?"
Which is literally what your job is. You have to use that tablet for your job.
Yeah. So I tried my phone. It wouldn't work on my phone. I tried my backup phone, which is actually a better phone than the one I use. It just doesn't have a SIM card. It still wasn't compatible with that. So they're like, okay, here's a link to a PC version that you should be able to use. So I immediately busted out my laptop, went to do the training, not compatible at all. I mean, it wouldn't, literally on every device, halfway through, it would crash, and it would crash on the same spot. So finally,
that's most likely from the company then, not from you.
Yeah, but they kept saying it was my devices.
No, it's definitely the company doing
So-
they messed up on the upload, and so you're messed up on the download. But it's the company's fault, not yours.
I'm going to continue a little bit. I finally decided, fuck it, and I used my roommate's desktop computer, the only computer in the house that has a hardline connection to the internet. Okay? And it still crashed on the same spot.
Yeah,
so
that's definitely the company. That's definitely the company then.
I went above and beyond. I went to my my supervisor, my supervisor's boss, my boss's boss's boss. I went to our IT guys. I went to our, everything. I find out that I am the only person who is experiencing this problem.
I'm sorry. I read Dandelion Fluff's comment, so I apologize. Go ahead and do your thing.
Oh, maybe until Mike gets an upgrade, we should change the name of the show to the Bio Mike Shit Show. Yes. So I'm like, why is it only affecting me? And the IT department decided to look into it, because if the training programs aren't working on any of my devices, it's probably not my devices that are failing. It's something going on between my employee connection, like my employee file and account and everything, and the programs we use for training.
Right, exactly. And the obvious culprit is the corporation that's making you take this training, and they screwed it up, and they have not fixed it yet. So chances are they will fix it this week, or they will never fix it, and that's you got to decide whether you want to stay with that company or not.
Well, I'm going to stay with the company because, it's they pay me money. But the funniest part about it was I still ended up working over 30 hours on this project, but it took me longer because I didn't have the training and knowledge to do the paperwork. So I'm like, well, at least I got paid more money.
Fair enough. Well, they promoted you without having to do the training to go with the promotion, right? So that's a good thing, and they'll figure out.
The training was just for this specific project.
Oh, which
kind of like
are you using?
I don't know, sorry.
Oh no, I'm wondering which microphone I'm using. Yeah, I'll be damned. It's Sunday morning, and I've been drinking all night. So let's see if my microphone actually works.
Apparently, Dandelion thinks I might be a mini Magneto. Maybe I should be a Violenture. or Magnus.
Oh. My Yeti stereo microphone is now working. Apparently.
Awesome. You switched over to the other microphone?
Yeah. Does my voice quality sound any different at all?
I don't know. It sounds about the same to me, but we can let the chat decide.
Okay. Fair enough. Going from my headphones to the microphone probably doesn't make a bit of difference, really. I'm glad my computer switched over to. I'm glad my computer switched over to my headphones instead of my camera microphone, because I know that my camera microphone sucks.
Yeah. With the 3 microphones that I usually have, the camera mic is definitely the worst. I either try to use my semi-professional, actual USB stabilized microphone, or I use the laptop mic just because it's easy.
Yeah, I found the wire sitting on my desk, so I plugged it back in. So yeah, my Yeti microphone is working again. However, it is funny. Yvette said, Mr. CCDV, you sound like you do, but soberish, which is funny because I'm not soberish at all.
But okay, so to go about the topic, last night I was hanging out with Caddy Knight, the eldest of the Vile children, the original Vile child, and we were watching like YouTube shorts and TikToks together.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a video that was talking about holes. Okay, and it was basically asking the question, like, how many holes does a straw have?
Ooh. Oh, that's a good question. How many holes does a straw have?
Of course, she goes, well, a straw only has one straw hole. And I'm like, well, if you...
No. No.
Well, see, that's the
a
problem.
Straw has 2 holes.
Well, that's the thing. It depends on how you define what a hole is. And that's...
the function of a straw.
So today's going to be a scrambled omelet conversation. All right.
It is.
How many holes does a straw have? Okay, so a hole must consist of a border, right? You have to have a border in something in order to define the hole itself. And that hole has a thickness. In a straw, the thickness is the thickness of the straw. So no matter how big it is one hole.
Way too deep into this. You're going.
No. It's just You just think of it. Just think of it. Take it apart and look at it. Every single hole has a depth, right? Whether it's paper thin. If I punch a hole, right, in a piece of paper, to you would say that's one hole. But if you go microscopic, the thickness of the paper would be just as big as any straw.
Yes, okay, that is true. However, you cannot use a straw if it has a 3rd hole in it, because you are creating a vacuum in that tube.
You can if that hole's underwater.
Well, hold
under
on.
the water line.
So how long is that hole going to stay underwater?
Well,
how deep is your container? It has 2 holes, otherwise it doesn't work as a straw.
Well, Dandelion says it's 1 hole with 2 entrances. Okay. Now, if I have a straw and I poke a hole into the side of it, does it now have 3 holes, or does it have 1 hole with 3 entrances?
Where are you getting the 2nd hole from?
That is seriously
the same hole.
That is very
philosophical.
philosophical.
Into the side of a straw. Is it now 3 holes, or is it 1 hole with 3 entrances?
Are you talking about putting a hole? Does the hole
and
does the hole go through the straw?
You screwed up your vacuum with a 3rd hole, so there is still 2 holes.
And Darren says, "I'm so glad I'm skipping the stream."
It's apples and oranges because in the straw, the hole in the top and the bottom is the same hole. If you add a hole in the side, that's not a hole. I mean,
I'm sorry, brother. I cannot agree with you. Even a wormhole has
it's a separate
two ends.
hole.
A wormhole has two ends.
Well, that's why I'm asking if you're punching the hole in the side of the straw, is it going through the? Can I put a pencil through the straw now, or is it just one hole on the side?
Fair enough. If it's still under liquid, then you are still sucking and creating a vacuum with that second hole. But as soon as that liquid goes underneath the third hole in the straw, then you lose suction.
Okay. All right. CCDV. I'm gonna make this real simple for you. Forget the liquid. Just suck air through the straw. Air will come through both holes. One is stronger than the other, but air will come through both holes.
I know, but most people don't use straws to breathe. Most people use straws to drink.
You tell that to scuba divers.
I mean, well, a scuba diver would be pissed off if he had a third hole.
All right, but you understand how this whole conversation boils down to the problems we actually have with definitions and words, the definitions of whole, and the words we use to describe things.
So glad Darren's here. Yeah, I love this conversation. I've had this conversation so many times in the underground, bro. It's not even funny. Like our language is based on words that are made up of other words that are made up of other words that are made up of other words.
And so we all know that LDG would rather communicate in the 100011001000.
If you wanted to look up the definition of the true definition of a single word, you would have to look at all the words in that definition and then look up those words in the definition to look up those words. You'd never have a meaning. Meaning is impossible. It's emergent.
Oh, Richie Pulley.
It all depends what you're talking about.
Are we having a whole conversation or are we having a whole conversation?
Yeah, there's definitely a hole in this conversation.
Well, like one of the things I was talking to her with Caddy about, and I was thinking about it afterwards. Take an apple, okay? If I take a straw and I stick it halfway through that apple, core out that section of straw or that section of apple, so there's a missing chunk that goes from the outside to the middle of that apple. That is a hole, right? I've made a hole in the apple.
That is actually, no joke, a wormhole.
But no, I'm not saying
it's an incomplete. It's an incomplete hole. It's not a complete hole.
No, it is a hole, though.
No, it isn't. A hole needs to be complete. It's a partial hole.
The worm does not have to go all the way through the apple. The worm only has to go as far as the worm wants to go.
In order to have a hole, don't you have to be able to pass through it? If you can't pass through the hole, it's not a hole.
Okay, LDG, if I go out into my yard and I start digging a hole, is it not an actual hole until it goes all the way through the earth, or is it a hole in my backyard?
No, it's just an indent. That's all you did was it's not even a hole. Like all you did was just move some dirt out. Like what is it a hole to? Nothing.
So,
you just made a step.
I live very, very close to the Grand Canyon. I live 60 miles away from the Grand Canyon. So you're telling me that the Grand Canyon is just an indent?
Yes.
It is not a hole.
Yes, that's all it is.
Indent.
I mean, it's just you have to. A hole has to go through something.
Hold on, right? LDG, we don't say we're going to go out and dig a indent. We say we're going to go out and dig a hole.
Yeah,
but the problem is we're using the same word to describe two different phenomena.
This is why I say the English language is so beautiful, because you can say one thing and mean 5 different things, no matter, even if you say it exactly the same way. It's not a hole. People say hole because they're lazy and they're speaking. That's not proper English. I mean, that's what Darren would say. It's just not proper English. Happens all the time.
See, it's just my issue is the whole. See, I just said whole. When people talk, we don't necessarily differentiate between which definitions of the words we're actually using.
Most normal people do, yeah, or enlightened people do. But then you have certain people like Darren.
In conversations,
that hold every word to its an absolute.
Do not define
LDG,
words.
I'm so sorry, but if anyone who's a regular on my panels would be switching from one definition to the other mid-argument, that's you.
But I do it for fun.
Yes, but you do it. That's
I do it for fun, though. There's a difference. I don't do it to mean anything or to judge anybody by. I do it for the entertainment factor of making fun of words.
The evacuated space is the whole. The entrance to the space are ancillary. I like that. Right. I like that.
Okay,
Thank you, Dandelion Fluff.
Dandelion, would that mean that if I blow a bubble, that the empty space inside the bubble is a hole?
No, I don't think so.
Even though there's no entrance to that hole. By definition, does a hole require an entrance?
Well, I mean, technically,
an ancillary thing, at least one.
You can enter a bubble if you're small enough. I mean, there's spaces between molecules and atoms, so technically the entire bubble is filled with holes.
Jordan actually said that earlier. He said, if we go microscopic, then everything has infinite holes, which
exactly
is
He also said he's too sober for this shit. I've been too sober for my shit as well, many times.
I got to lift some heavy bags of dirt. One moment.
Love
a hole. You have to be able to go through the hole.
Gorilla, but seriously, sober. Get it right. Just if we're going to be too sober for this conversation, then I'm the wrong person to be on this panel because I am way too drunk to be here.
A ditch. I guess a ditch is more. They would say, let's go not dig a hole. That would be also a more plan.
You're digging a ditch to be in the army now.
Just be a continuous hole, but along a length instead of a depth.
A ditch can be any shape.
Hole was 99, not 89. Get it right, Richie Poole. Hole is not a good band.
When my family would roast a pig, we would say we were digging a ditch, not a hole. So we have different words to describe a very similar thing. One being a ditch, the other one being a hole.
And we
just digging out some dirt.
Every time we buried a pig, we said we were digging a hole to bury a pig. In our hole, we did not say we're digging a ditch to put the pig in. We said
when I grew up, we said it was a ditch.
Oh, really? Well,
yeah, you'd start with a hole, but it would become a ditch.
Well, a lot of holes become ditches.
A hole can be ditch.
And LDG's Richie Poole's bringing up a point. You're describing a tunnel, not a hole. Well, if I take that straw and that apple argument and I'm sticking it all the way through,
every hole has
a tunnel, or if I created two holes.
Every hole has a tunnel.
Does not. Richie Poole says
a tunnel is the three-dimensional inside of a hole,
and that is true. If you're going with the apple analogy, then yes, a hole only has one opening because you go to the center of the apple and then you're done. and there's no opening on the center of the apple. So I guess technically there's only one opening to a hole if you do it that way.
So by definition, a straw is one hole with two openings, making it thus a tunnel, not a hole.
It is a straw.
But what?
Exactly.
Name one hole that doesn't have a tunnel.
Well,
we really are scrambled eggs on this
see what
one,
I
aren't we?
See what I mean about that's why I'm saying it's the problem with definitions and words. Sometimes the words don't seem to articulate quite as beautifully as we'd like them to describe.
The only hole that doesn't, I would say the only hole that doesn't have a tunnel is a black hole.
Well, see, what shape is a black hole?
That's a good question. Is it flat?
It's a sphere.
Is it flat?
Sphere.
I'm still thinking of black holes as flat. I'm still thinking of them as flat, not as spheres.
Well, that's the thing is, a black hole is a sphere. The hole it makes is the gravity it creates in the space-time, the fabric of space-time. But we don't see
all the according to the most recent people, the black hole has all the information of the universe still.
No, it doesn't.
In its event horizon. It's an information hole.
Well, that's something
correct,
that Hawking tried to go into. But yeah, because, quote unquote, information is lost anytime it passes beyond the event horizon. But of course, black holes also emit Hawking radiation, so that could be an excuse. So that's even more complex. But we're not going to go into that because we're talking about just the definition of the word hole.
Right. A straw has two openings. A hole can have two openings, but generally, in my experience, has one opening. So a hole is not a straw.
So does that make it a tunnel?
Does that make sense in English language?
A three-dimensional hole requires two openings, guys.
Again,
a video game requires two openings, no matter how infinitesimal or huge in between.
Well, Rich is saying straw is not a hole.
A straw is not a hole? Okay, that's different because you have to have a hole in order to suck things up, and you use a vacuum to suck things up, and you use a tunnel with a shorter end on the other side than the vacuum is providing. Otherwise, you can't pick things up with the vacuum. So a vacuum is not a vacuum is a straw. It's just a straw on an industrial scale.
This is what I'm talking about. We have 7 people watching, 3 people on the panel, and we have no consensus on what the fuck a hole is. You would think that a hole is something that mankind has known about, has been using for 2 million years, and yet we have no definition about what the fuck one is.
We have no consensus on what a hole is.
I'll give you this. I'll give you this. If you dig out, if you put a straw in the middle of an apple, you put a hole through the skin, yes, but you didn't put a hole through the apple.
You did put a hole through the apple.
Not through it. It stopped halfway.
Well, as I said, originally I said I stopped halfway. So you're saying that I put a hole in the surface, and we can argue that the surface is 2-dimensional, even if it's a 3-dimensional object.
Let's say
no. The skin is it's 3-dimensional, dude. Skin has depth.
Let's say you take an apple and you core it, right? You don't slice it. You don't anything else. You just take the core out of it. And then you pack the top of it with marijuana and you drill a hole through the center of the apple. And so you have a place where you can draw air through the apple because the core is gone, but you've packed it with marijuana, and now you light that marijuana and it tastes like apple pie while you're smoking marijuana. I'm just saying there's a bunch of different ways to use holes.
What if you could take a perfect sphere out of an apple, right? Like you could teleport like the core sphere out of an apple. I guess that would be a holeless hole. Because I would call that a hole in the apple.
Richard says no consensus. What are we, a bunch of Republicans? So I had to comment. Next, we'll be voting on for the Speaker of the Hole.
The Speaker of the Hole.
Oh, okay. So.
Oh, the Speaker of the Hole. Who wrote that series? Not the Speaker of the Hole. The Speaker for the Dead. What's his name? It's one of those dead authors that I love to read.
All right, Dandelion Fluff says, official definition of a hole, a hollow place in a solid body or surface. He dug a small hole in the snow. All right. That makes 100% sense, Dandelion. But again, let's go back to my apple analogy. If I have stuck the straw through halfway, taken out that core part so that there's now a hole in the apple.
Correct.
If I turn the apple around and on the exact opposite point, I stick the straw through again, and it meets with the hole that I made earlier, and I take that core out.
Okay. So now you have four different openings.
I was gonna say, have I made
side
two
of the
holes,
skin,
or have I made one hole?
Three holes.
No, it's
one on each side, and then the one going through the entire.
No, it is technically.
Each time you punctured the skin, you created a hole. Yeah. When you completed the hole through the apple, you created a third hole.
You took the core out, so you do have two openings on the apple, and then you created two more openings. So yes, you do have four openings on the apple.
And howdy, Bill.
What's up, Bill?
So since your ears and your mouth connect, does that mean that's all just one hole?
No, because it stops at the brain. Your eyes stop at the brain. Your ears
connect with each other.
Well, yeah, there's a little canal that runs from your ear to the back of your throat area, plus your nostrils and your mouth. So therefore, is that one hole with a total of 5 entrances, or is it 5 different holes into a 3D object?
It depends on how old you are. I know you have children. So when your children have ear infections, they do not connect to their sinuses, but the ear infection can be cured. The sinus infection can be cured. They are separate items. I know that because my children had all of the above, right? So I'm sure I had all of the above when I was a child as well.
Question for anyone watching: is the link to the stream still, if to join the panel, still pinned? I don't know if I pinned it.
It is pinned. Yeah.
Okay.
And Kronos is not going to come on.
Anyone who joins now can join up to the panel to argue over this stupid, inane topic.
It is inane. I love it. But I know Kronos is not going to come on. He keeps calling me CC DVD.
I like that.
Well, depending on how socialist you are, we could call you Mr. CCCCDV.
I was taking a drink of my beer when you said that. I nearly spit all over my monitors.
I almost caused him to have an Asner. All right, Daddy Lion.
Good
What do you
morning.
want to add to this stupid conversation?
Good morning, Danny Lionflower.
I was dyeing my hair, so I couldn't come up yet. I had to go and jump in the shower, but I continued listening while I was in the shower. So anyway, now I'm trying to get dressed while I'm talking to you. Don't worry, all the private parts are covered. So,
well, that's unfortunate.
I'm sure it is.
As long as the camera isn't on, I don't need to get demonetized from a platform where I'm not monetized on.
No, I wouldn't do that to your stream, Mike. I wouldn't do that to you guys anyway, because I think some things are better left to the imagination.
Oh.
Okay, as far as the whole part with the brain and everything, I think it's one hole with more entrances, right? Because it's still all the space within the cranial cavity is the hole.
So, really? There's a layer around the brain.
But it seems like, wherever your sinuses, your ears, and all that
go involved in these holes. Let me put it that way.
Well, no, but I'm saying that the holes that are like connected to the ears and the mouth and the nose, right? They're all
yes, but those holes
kind of all,
have a single nerve fiber going through them. Those holes have a single nerve fiber going through them.
Well, the nerves,
so technically, the brain is separate from everything else.
Well, Mr. CCDV, we're not talking about the brain part. We're just talking about the fact that those specific parts of the body are connected. And technically, you could run, like a straw, like we were talking about, to go in one of those holes and out any of the other holes without interfering with the brain, because there actually is empty space in between it, or could be empty space in between it.
That would be fascinating. That would be absolutely fascinating if somebody could actually do that. This
conversation is actually making a bigger hole where my brain used to. Oh dear.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That is, yeah.
I'll be honest. One of the other reasons I was bringing this topic up was because of a debate me and a buddy had about the word natural.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to say exactly what we were talking about, but okay, we were talking about midgets, okay? Little people.
Yeah.
He said little people aren't natural. I said they were natural. He goes, no, because if they were natural, they would be normal-sized people.
That's a totally different subject.
Natural, that's more like, I don't know. That's
a totally different
from
subject.
the norm, not unnatural.
What I'm talking about, Mr. CCDV, is the title of this being the problem with definitions and words.
I think they're natural because they occur without like any intervention. It just happens, right?
Well, that's his argument was that they don't happen. They happen because of mutations.
Well, therefore,
yeah, but he's
talking about
everything happens because of mutations.
Yeah, as I say, even if you turn out like a regular sized person, that's a mutation as well.
That's a mutation, exactly.
Well, the only reason we don't refer to that as a mutation is because most people end up that way. We only refer to it. He's referring more to like the norm versus natural.
That's what I was trying to argue about. But he was saying it. He was going with a specific definition. He looked one up on Merriam-Webster that fit the argument he was making. And I'm like, well, the definition I want to use is a scientific definition.
Richie Poole is too funny.
Well, that's another thing about English. You can argue any point if you use the right words.
Now I think I finally know what caused the fall of man. It was not the apple, it was the hole.
Richie?
I had fun with Salty on that when I was using verses from the Bible that support the idea that of a single soul?
Oh, I've lost so many verses from the Bible I used
Richie,
to use. Yeah.
I think I might need to steal this entire line that you just said and put it on a t-shirt. Would you have a problem with that? Because this is an awesome quote, and I have
It is an awesome
fallen
quote.
in love with this quote.
It really
What is
should
it?
be on a t-shirt. Absolutely. It should
Now
I
be.
can't see it, guys. What
I
is
think
it?
I finally know what caused the fall of man. It wasn't the apple. It was the hole in and or through the apple.
Yeah, see, I would say though that like if you look at it, I mean, I guess if you put a hole, like a hole could have event horizons, and that's what we're talking about.
Oh no, you're robot.
It's extra creepy when those robots because of all the AI stuff.
You're supposed
yeah, no, I
to
might
be,
just because I'm on the edge here.
You're supposed to be the tech geek.
Well, I'm like outside my house right now washing some rugs. Sorry, I'll come back in a second.
Now, question: do any of the rugs have holes?
You sound fine right now. You don't have to go out and go.
Yes,
back
the
in.
whole. Yeah, there are many holes in these rugs.
There are many holes in rugs.
That's because the fabric is made in a loop. So I guess every loop is a hole.
I let my dog go outside because I didn't want her to poop on the carpet.
Well,
so
let's go back to the whole argument for a second because I want to know with what Dandelion was saying. Dandelion, if I blow a bubble, is the empty space inside of the bubble a hole?
Yes.
Well,
not empty space.
The space inside the bubble is not empty.
Okay, LDG, we're not going to go into the semantics of, yes, it's filled with air. It's not a hole. We're talking about...
But I'm talking about a bubble is literally air. So you have to... The air is like part of a bubble. It's what makes up a bubble. You can't have... LDG. Now, if you're going to tell me...
But if someone digs a hole in the snow, that's also full of air. But if you're in the atmosphere, any hole is probably full of air.
No, but a bubble specifically, is different than a hole in the ground.
You can get into the bubble. All you gotta do is dip your finger in.
A bubble doesn't exist unless you have the air. I mean, it's literally part of it's a bubble of air. Right. I mean, they literally call it a bubble of air.
It's physical. Okay, LDG, you have a bubble.
Air bubble.
If I have a glass sphere and I remove all the air from it,
that creates a vacuum.
There you go.
Now there's
a vacuum.
Let's assume that for the sake of arguments, because you're dealing with fucking semantics on us.
Semantics. Use bubble.
If there's now nothing inside the glass sphere, is that a hole?
It is not.
Well, Dandelion says it is.
I'm fine with it being a hole.
It depends whether or not having a hole requires that something be removed from something else.
No, it's a vacuum.
Because if you take a piece of string,
when it collapses on itself, then it becomes a vacuum. That is unstoppable, I guess, is so you call it a black hole.
Real quick, but if you take a freaking piece of string and you create a loop, right? You didn't take anything out. All you did was just take a piece of string and wrap it around itself. But yet that's a hole.
No, it's not.
Well, the thing is,
you can go through it.
Wouldn't we?
It is not.
They would call that a hole. Yeah, exactly.
A lot of people would call that a hole. Yeah.
If I gave you a piece of string and I said make a hole out of this,
I would
9 out of 10 people would most likely just
and call it a hole. Yes, I would do that. Yes. I would say
arguing doesn't feel right. It feels like
I would say that I could put my finger. I could put my finger through this hole. So I say yes, it's a hole. If I tied a string into a knot and turned it into a loop, then I could put my finger through it. It would be a hole. Yes.
All right. So, quick question, Richie. Did you blow bubbles? Never mind. But yeah, I agree with you.
You know, Bubbles?
I think that holes don't necessarily require the removal of a part of an object to be formed, because a hole is an abstract concept that we've applied many definitions to.
Absolutely, we have.
Even though a hole is, you could argue, is a physical thing, it's still an abstract concept, along with a lot of things.
That's because we've used the word hole so many times. We use the word whole for a lot of stuff. And so it's the context of the context of the conversation that we're having that defines whole. We can say a hole is something you dig in the ground. A hole is something that goes through something. A hole is whatever it is that we are defining the hole as, because everybody knows what a hole is.
No, that's the thing. Everyone.
I just had to go stuff my wet laundry in the hole in the dryer so that I could dry it.
Yes, exactly. And that's a hole in the dryer. And
actually, that would be through the hole into the dryer.
To somebody,
I think all these things are like, there's like again, I think you're right. I think it's all about context. We know what we mean when someone says hole.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
Exactly. And
now,
it's
I don't think anybody understands the whole of this conversation.
Oh, probably not. It might come down to semantics, but we're definitely up to some antics.
We are definitely up to antics.
Yeah.
I have my coffee cup in my hand.
I shall return. I need to replace these.
A hole.
I need to replace these 3 beer bottles with
full
3
ones?
Full beer bottles.
Excellent. It does look like there's quite a lot of definitions of hole, right? Opening through something, perforation, like like so. The puncture in the skin is the perforation, right? An area where something is missing.
Yeah,
a discrepancy in like an argument, which we all know a lot about holes in our logic.
The holes in these cans have no liquid in them, which means that I need to go get more cans with liquid in them so I can crack the hole in order to drink the liquid that is inside these cans. I shall return.
All right, but like I was showing my coffee cup earlier. Now, if I tell everybody that I have a hole in my coffee cup, everyone would agree that would probably mean I have the hole of the coffee cup, and then there's a hole in the side or bottom of it, not the one that we pour or drink liquid in and out of.
See, I would usually ask just one, because you got to have one. Or is there more than one hole in your coffee cup? Is there a problem with it? I don't know if this is getting really deep, Kronos, but we do seem to be digging ourselves a fine hole.
Yes,
sorry.
We're digging this whole deep hole.
I have to leave soon for my hike.
Okay, now if I have a relatively flat cup, like, and it looks, to be more of like a plate, would we argue that a plate has a hole? How convex does something have to be before we'd say that it has a hole in it?
I don't know if you would call a plate as having a hole. I suppose, again, semantically, it has, right? It's a hollowed out space on the top of the plate, but it's only like slightly hollowed out. A shallow hole?
Because we have cups, we have bowls, we have plates. Are they just different varying depths of holes?
Pretty much. I mean, really, that's what it comes down to.
So how flat does something have to be before it's no longer a hole?
If it can't hold any, like thing in it, I think it would not be a hole, right? So if you had like a super flat dish and you put liquid on it, it would just run off. I don't know. I don't think it matters that much. I don't care enough about the subject to actually get that like particular on it. I'm sorry.
Well, we've been able to argue about this for almost 50 minutes, so
yeah. Hey, and I managed to like eat a pancake and like rinse out all the hair color, well, the extra hair color out of my hair in that time period. So, woohoo, good for us.
All right,
at least
so
being able to talk about a subject for nearly an hour is interesting thing that we get to do.
Think about it, Dandelion. Here's my question for you. If, let's say you have a 2-dimensional pancake, okay?
Okay.
And you manage to take a bite out of the side of it, did you put a hole in it?
Yes. Or if I pop a blueberry out of it, yep.
And that is if it stays 2-dimensional.
and Richard, and you say effing Google it, and that's the problem. Is
that's what we did. Google has a lot of definitions of hole.
Yeah.
Oh, Chronos
like
says
every website had a slightly different definition of hole to the point where you could use any definition to make your point and still be right.
Yeah, and wrong at the same time.
Exactly. And like Richie just said, your cup does not have a hole in it. It would leak. A cup itself is not a hole.
The cup itself is not a hole.
A hole in order to be a cup.
It has to have a hole on the inside. It cannot have a hole on the outside in order to be a cup. It needs to be a hole on the inside.
Even a crepe isn't really 2-dimensional.
Yeah, that's why I specifically said a 2-dimensional pancake.
Well, no, a crepe, even a crepe is 3-dimensional, even if you've only got 1 millimeter on the crepe. Which I do, by the way.
Crepe, that would be delicious.
Dandelion fluff. I'm still waiting for you to come to my house and taste my crepes. But
that sounds very dirty. You're in California, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm in Arizona, but
Arizona. Okay, yeah, I still have to get my passport before I can do any such things. So.
But yeah, the whole thing is everything's 3-dimensional, so you can have a hole in anything,
right?
What about in a video game?
You're still roboting
conversation, or should I say this whole argument? God, I can't even talk. Argumentation. Sorry, I'm going to make that a word.
I'm going to accept that word, and I'm going to start putting it around because
what was the word again?
Argumentation.
And what is our definition of argumentation?
Argument and conversation. Argumentation.
Oh, argumentation. Yeah, I like that. Very lovely. Love that. You know, they already have a word for it. It's called debate.
I like argumentation more now.
Oh my god, it's so much of a better word.
It is.
Yeah, I know. Mr. CTD was definitely the man in the black-sided slider van there, with the panther painted on the side and offering candies to the little girls.
No kidding. Here we've got alcohol and tobacco. What I'm lacking is caffeine. That's all I'm lacking.
I'm done with all holes except my own. God, I swear this whole conversation has the best quotes I think this stream has had for a long time.
That may very well be the case.
I think when I'm done with this stream, I'm just going to start on the Twitter thing. I'm going to just post these quotes with no context whatsoever.
Jedi Bills, I had to be so freaking drunk if I had to take a shot every time someone says the word hole.
That's right, Jedi Bill.
I believe the term for tweeting is now expleting.
Expleting.
Sorry, I don't give a shit about what the owner of the man-child owner of the company is. It's going to be Twitter forever, just like I still call.
I know, but I really like calling them expletives now.
I like, you know, honestly, Dandelion Fluff, even though I was a soldier and not a sailor, I could still expletive deleted like a soldier. Like a sailor, I should say. Yes, I could expletive deleted like a sailor if I wanted to.
There you go.
Well, I'm the son of a sailor, or at least on my dad's side, and my mom was a court reporter for the JAG in the Army. So believe me, I could cuss up a storm if I need to.
Yes, you could expletive deleted a lot of stuff. What did you say the term is supposed to be? Expletive or what? What did you say, Dandelion?
I'm sorry, what's that?
The new term for
expletives instead of tweets.
Expleted. Yes, expleted. We could explete all day long.
Yep. You know, if we'd started calling them expletives sooner, he might have changed his mind about changing the name.
All right. Is that the spelling you're talking about? Expletives?
Yes, like that. Well, I don't know. However it's usually spelled. Hang on.
Nope. Well, no, Kronos did it better. Expleted. Expleting.
Yeah.
Explegeek. Explegeek. We are explegeeking right now.
Explegeek.
I love geeking out. I do. I love geeking out. So yes, absolutely, explegeeking is better. And LDG knows that nerd is different from geek.
Yeah, I think it's just spelled EXPLETIVE, but just calling it, expletives is fine.
No,
either of you get it. It's lovely.
Elon definitely
could be better.
Expleted skirt.
Expleted.
Elon is the quintessential 90s fanboy, in my opinion. So it would have to start with the letter X, of course. So it's not going to be expletive. It has to be X dash, like the X-Men or X-Force. Wormhole Extreme.
I still like the X skirt.
So then it would probably be like that. You can make fluffy jokes if you like, Kronos, but if they're rude, we're just going to ignore them.
You did just get out of the shower, so you should be having an expleted skirt right now.
No, I put on leggings because I'm going for a hike.
Beavers over otters. You know, if you reverse that, I think that's a sex crime.
Oh my God.
We are awful. And we're defining terms still. Where did the hole go?
I think we may have finished digging that one.
We may have finished digging the hole.
We
dug
ourselves in
without coming to a consensus, but we all know what a hole is, even though we can't define it.
Yes.
I mean, think about it. I know we're going to go back to it just for a second, but it's like we're literally defining something by the lack of what it is.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much. That's where we're going with it, yeah.
Oh, when did we lose Pickles?
We just did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, just like 30 seconds ago. I'm sure he'll be back.
Are other languages as malleable as English? Yes.
Yeah.
Every language has that has been around for a long time.
Absolutely.
Has multiple words for the same thing.
Yep.
I mean, one of the things that me and Mrs. Vile have talked about when it comes to English and Spanish is like one of the funniest sentences that I know of in English is buffalo, 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 buffalo. And if you know all the definitions of the word buffalo, that sentence is 100% accurate. And one that you could say in Spanish is como, 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 como. And to a native Spanish speaker, that sentence makes sense, even though it's just the word como, C-O-M-O, being repeated over and over.
Okay.
It's
too early in the day for me to care about that. So
yeah, I grew up in Southern California, and honestly, I don't know what como means, even though I should.
I think it was como, but sure.
Yeah, you got one more como in.
It was actually
if
makes
Mrs.
all the
Dial is still listening, she can explain it, I think, a lot better than I can.
It's just after 9 o'clock in our part of the world, Kronos. We're in the past. You're in the future.
Oh, you're in the West Coast area, are you?
Yeah, I'm in the Vancouver area.
Oh, yeah. Well,
up in Canada.
That's West Coast.
I don't know why, but when you said you were, I never got the connection that you were on the west coast of Canada. For some reason, I always thought you were closer to the eastern middle of Canada.
No. I'm out on the west coast. I mean, there's an island between me and the actual ocean, but I can go to the Salish Sea pretty quickly. Like it's like a 15-minute drive.
Because I cannot get a passport for like 2 more years. I cannot get a passport. I actually have to take the ferry to go up and visit my sister up in Canada. So nice. I do have to bypass Highway 1.
Whereabouts is she? Is she in Point Roberts or something?
Say again?
Whereabouts is she if you take a ferry? Point Roberts or somewhere like that?
Oh, no, she would pick me up at the port. She's in not Vancouver.
Victoria?
No, she's way up north where the Air Force Base is. I can't remember the Air Force Base name.
Campbell River or somewhere? Or is it in a US destination?
It's a US destination, yeah.
Okay, so it's up toward like in Alaska.
Yeah, up in Alaska. So I have to take the ferry from Washington to Alaska in order to be able to go see my sister. Because I can't get a passport right now.
But that's a nice ferry ride, though. That's kind of exciting.
It is a nice ferry ride, actually.
I mean, it's a beautiful coast.
Sorry, I just had a thought. Just further the confusion.
Finally.
Whole means complete.
You had a thought?
Whole means incomplete.
How dare you?
Kronos, you knew I was in Canada, and I'm not Canadian. I'm British. I just
Canada.
Yeah.
No, you're totally Canadian.
Okay, Dandelion.
I'm from Florida.
No matter what, if we have any Canadian jokes, we're still gonna, direct them towards you.
That's fine. I'm up for it. I've had my daily infusion of maple syrup, so we're good.
I'm
That's what I'm talking
aware. I'm currently aware that you cannot say.
If I were to slice your vein, and what would come out is tea flavored maple syrup.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Well, I'm an American, so if you slice my veins, what comes out is bacon grease.
Actually, we have pretty good bacon up here.
Your Canadian bacon is not right.
No, regular bacon, like side bacon, proper bacon.
Well, I don't think they call it
proper
bacon in Canada.
Okay.
Strip bacon. There's a place just here that's actually a butcher shop, and they smoke their own bacon. And it's like, I can't eat other bacon anymore because it's just not worth it. And their bacon's not even like overpriced. It's like a good price. They make it themselves. It's delicious. They'll slice it however thin or thick you want. It's really good. I think I have some in the freezer. I should cook that next weekend. It's good with maple syrup.
I may very well have to go to my local butcher and get really thick cut bacon because that sounds really good right now.
That is really good. They make amazing bacon. Actually, they make some other things. They do like a smoked meat, like I guess a brisket or something. And they also make their own like smoked turkey, which whatever, it's smoked turkey. But they do Black Forest style ham as well.
Yes.
Oh, freaking good.
Black Forest ham.
Oh my God.
I love it so much.
The one they make is so delicious. If I ever do come your way, I'll make sure I bring some meats from Benetti's for you.
Well, if you ever want to see the Grand Canyon, of course, you're welcome in my house. So,
Lovely. Are you like on the Grand Canyon? Close to the Grand
60 miles away.
Sorry.
So
Sorry,
like
remember, I am a father, so I have to do this. When is a porcine chef not a chef?
I don't know.
When he's baking.
Oh.
When he's baking, yes. That's the worst joke ever.
Sorry, I'm a dad. I am entitled to making dad jokes.
You are allowed to make as many dad jokes as you want.
Did I tell you guys the tree joke already? I had a dad tree joke. I think I told it last week.
I don't know, but if it's really bad, we're going to leave.
It's pretty bad. Did trees poop?
Wow.
I don't know, but stick it to me.
Where do you think number 2 pencils come from?
Number 2 pencils. Oh my God.
Wow.
That was a very Dandelion. That was a very naughty joke.
That was a very naughty joke.
Yep. I'm not a dad either, and I still tell dad jokes.
Well, let's branch out from the whole conversation. Let's do tree puns.
I don't have that many tree puns.
It's a lot easier to make puns about time. You know, we don't have enough time. Take your time. Take your time and leave.
Rosemary in time.
You know, rosemary and thyme actually do go into my chicken stocks.
Oh, there we go. Kronos has a tree one. Are we Groot? Good job, Kronos. Way to pun.
We are Groot. That was a good movie.
I love that movie.
Yeah, definitely. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was a fantastic movie. We are Groot. Absolutely.
Well, I'm so glad this conversation has bore fruit.
I think my first mistake was getting the water out of my ears after the shower. I should have just left it in there. All right.
I actually, and this is embarrassing to say, but I haven't had a shower since July. So,
have you had like baths or like sponged off your, parts that get gicky?
Oh no, I do sponge off.
Taking a hobo bath?
I've been doing it for
bath full of holes.
I've been doing it for months. Yeah, just cleaning myself off with wipes and stuff. Yeah,
well, that's fine. I mean, you're in Arizona. Don't you guys have like a water deficiency there?
Well, we do, but I don't have that much problem with water deficiency in my house. It's just that I broke my leg, and so I haven't actually been allowed to take a shower for a couple of months.
That really sucks. You can't put like a garbage bag around it and duct tape it above the cast.
I have a walk-in bath, the one that you can hook up and do the
Right.
the jets and stuff. I have a walk-in bath, but I haven't been able to use it because when my truck fell on my leg, I had to rip my foot out from underneath it, and so
Right.
it actually ripped my flesh open.
Ow.
Yeah, it was, well, I mean, no more painful than the truck actually falling on my leg to begin with. I didn't notice the fact that I ripped my heel open, so I've been dealing with that for the last 3 months.
Were you trying to change a tire or something?
I was replacing all the steering components on my truck.
And you didn't like lock it up properly?
No,
You just
I had it on jack stands. And
yeah, if you're going to be under there, it's usually better never to trust a jack.
Yeah, well, when I had it on jack stands, and it was on level surface, and it was safe. I had plywood underneath it and all that stuff. I did everything right. And when I was pulling the lower control arm off of the truck, it slipped off the jack stands and fell on my leg.
Crap.
Fuck.
That sucks a lot.
It does suck a lot, yeah. And
Did you
4 days?
Did you have people with you, at least so they could help, or were you doing it all by yourself?
I yelled. I was doing it all by myself, and it was in my backyard. And so I yelled my head off until one of my friends came over, and he jacked it up off my leg. But I still had to pull my leg out from underneath it, and that's what tore open my heel.
Oh.
Perhaps calling 911 would have been a good choice.
Also did that.
Okay. Yeah, no, I know 911's not always like super.
They did come.
Wivey.
And they took me to the hospital. And 4 days later, I ordered a crutch that allows you to use your both hands. It's called I Walk Free. I ordered that crutch, and so I took that crutch off multiple times and put my my knee braces on and crawled around on my hands and knees and got my truck running and got it out of the backyard and into the streets and things like that. And then the oil pump went bad. So I had to take it back into my backyard and crawl around on my hands and knees to get the oil pump working. And then,
well, if we're going to talk about injuries, I'll tell you a story what happened this week. One of the jobs I have for my job is I pack out magazines at the stores I have to go to, or at least some of the stores I have to work at. And the boxes are shipped in 50-pound, or the magazines are shipped in 50-pound boxes. Well, the receiver at one of my stores does not like me, and she does shit to the boxes to piss me off. The latest thing she did was she put expired yogurt on top of the boxes, and then the yogurt exploded, covering the boxes in yogurt.
Oh, she did that on purpose.
Yes. And I still had to pick the boxes up. And as I was picking one of the boxes up, the structural integrity of the box decided to fail because, it's now covered in yogurt.
Right.
And I dropped the box. Well, I didn't want the box to hit the ground and spill all over everything. So I quickly squatted down and I caught the box at the bottom. Because I was holding it by the handles, which are at the top of the box, but I was able to squat down fast enough to actually grab it by the bottom so it wouldn't hit the ground. In doing so, I pulled both my groin muscles.
Ouch.
On either side, going from mid-thigh up to my abdomen.
This is why working out regularly is a good idea.
Well, Dandelion, I'm like 100 pounds overweight. Working out would be a great idea for me, period. But yeah, squatting that fast was not pleasant. And The right one still hurts a little bit, but the left one seems to have healed for the most part. Granted, it was on Friday, and it's only been a couple of days, but yeah, it sucked yesterday having to walk around. Or actually, walking was fine. It's just getting up out of a seated position or getting into a seated position. That's what hurts.
Yes, that makes sense.
I'm sorry, your excuses are not landing with me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you still didn't drop a truck in your leg.
I have not actually been able to walk on my foot for like 3 months.
No, yeah, Mr. CCDV, you beat me by a long way. No comparison, okay? There's a big difference between a 50-pound box and a fucking truck.
Yep.
I did actually see my orthopedic surgeon on Wednesday, and she told me that I should start walking on my foot, and I've been doing that for the last 4 days, and so it's really painful, but here I am on your stream because I love you so much, and I love hanging out and being able to drink and smoke on a panel without judgment. I love it.
We're still judging you for that, but considering I'm drinking and smoking too, the judgment is much less.
I'm not judging. I don't judge anybody unless they're being mean, and I don't like it.
But I only have a single shot of whiskey in my coffee, so.
I had some scotch last night.
Oh, see, I've got like 3 more shots of. I've got 3 more shots of Captain Morgan's that I can drink right now.
But speaking of drinking too much, I have to Gelogia. I'll be right back.
Very good.
Can you guys manage on your own?
Yeah. We will try not to do anything too nefarious while you're gone.
Oh no, we'll do everything nefarious while.
Well, that's why I cackled in an evil way. Well, what should we talk about that Mike would prefer us to not say on his stream? I don't know if there's anything he wouldn't want people to talk about on his stream.
You know what? That's the best thing about Mike is like he's totally open of everything. It's fantastic.
Yeah. I would prefer if we don't talk about politics, though. Yes.
Oh no,
politics
and religion. I stay away from politics and religion.
Yes.
The most part.
Yes.
There are some live streams that I go on to talk about religion.
Which is fine because that's like the point of that live stream.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Yes.
But on Sunday mornings like this, it's like, okay, I'm really glad he does a CNA stream because seriously, on a Sunday morning, my religion is drinking beer and hanging out with people. And so I'm really happy that the CNA stream exists.
Yes. Yeah, I enjoy it too, although it usually interferes with me getting out for a hike in good time. That's okay.
Well, there's your problem.
No clowns, no dolls, no puppets. No, you're right. No marionettes.
I actually bought one of those little carts that are on Amazon. I bought one of those.
They're like mealy wheelers.
Very expensive, but yeah, it's a four-wheel electric cart that I can actually go onto rough terrain.
Might be better than your truck, dude.
Well, it is a lot of fun to drive up Bill Williams Mountain on that little cart. But nice. I got to manage the electrical, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like I can go halfway up Bill Williams Mountain and then come back down. But I get to drive that cart around town all the time.
There you go.
So I'm really happy with that.
Yeah. Nice.
Also, I can't start my truck without being sober, which means I can't drive today at all. So I've got a friend's birthday party I'm supposed to go to today.
And it's within scootering distance?
It's within spitting distance. So
there you go. You can take your electro scooter out. Nice.
That's a good choice, yeah. Except the headlight doesn't work.
Oh, well, why don't you get one of the bicycle, little bicycle headlights that you can stick on there? I got one on my keychain.
That's not a bad idea, actually. With
Right,
the
like here, I will.
dynamometer that.
See, I've got this little light that it just
Yeah.
like loops right over your handlebars on a bicycle, but I just keep it on my keychain. Pretty good.
Oh, you got the LED thing.
Yeah, it's just like a little wee headlight for like a bicycle, but I just keep it on my keychain because I live in the country and sometimes it's like dark in the winter and you can't freaking see a thing, like, you know, where to stick your keys.
Yes, and I do know what you're talking about because I did go to a baby shower a couple of weeks ago, and it was basically the same thing. I took my little electric cart down to the bar, and we had the baby shower, and then I drove my electric cart back, but I didn't have the headlight. And on the other hand, if I don't have a headlight, I can't get pulled over by the police.
I don't know where you are, but this little light thingy I got was like $4 Canadian, so it can't be more than like $5. You know, it's probably like $2.50 in Canada.
Well, I'm 3 blocks away.
You can even get 2 of them and duct tape them onto your device.
I'm 3 blocks away from my house, so it doesn't really matter to me.
All right.
Every bar I go to is 3 miles or less than a mile away from my house. So,
right. What was that?
Trip?
Hang on, let's let Mike say something.
When the way you said that, it reminded me of a thing I saw on Twitter. I think it was a couple months back, of like stupid redneck things, and it was a guy who had the whole front end of his car that had been smashed in. So he had duct taped flashlights to the front of
the car. Oh, that's fantastic.
That's awesome.
And they weren't the small ones. They were the big yellow, hold with a handle type.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. I mean, until you can get your car fixed or replaced.
Hey, did you know you can eat squid ink?
Yes, I did. I've eaten squid ink.
Yeah. Wow.
That is an amazing segue, LDG. I need to learn from the master.
Yeah.
I make pasta with squid ink.
Yeah.
I mean, this is interesting.
Risotto is squid
very
ink.
interesting when I was just reading. Cook steak with it.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah, you can make like a butter out of it and cook some steak with squid ink. It's supposed to be really.
Let me change my avatar.
I've never found squid ink to be particularly delicious. I got to be honest.
Okay.
Here
you go.
It tastes like anything to me. It just tastes like carbon.
Does it?
It really is. It really is just well, not carbon necessarily. It tastes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It tasted like. It tastes like ash to me.
It tastes like earth. Yeah, it tastes like dirt.
Actually, octopus is my favorite for sushi. Like a little piece of octopus. I especially like it if the suction cups are still intact and you can get it to stick to your teeth. That's always really fun.
Oh, by the way,
I'll take squid or eel over octopus. Octopus always is a little too chewy for me.
I had a friend who used to refer to it as bath mat.
Yeah.
Thank you, LDG, for making this avatar for me. I appreciate that. It is a avatar that I use a lot, and so when I say I made squid ink pasta, I'm not joking. I have made squid ink pasta with eggs and flour and squid ink. It is incredible. It is so good.
Homemade pasta is always delicious. Kronos, you can make any jokes you want. We might just ignore them, or, if we really find it annoying. I know you're just trying to get banned. We understand.
Yes, make an octopusy joke. Please do.
No, he has to make several. He can't only make one. Nice.
Thank you, Yvette. Yes.
There's nothing more fun than octopus suction cups sticking to things. It's like the best.
It's always weird how they still function so well when not attached to the octopus.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
They're just suction cups.
I have been all over the country, all over the well, basically all over the world. But my favorite stories are in the country. I in Georgia when I was stationed at Fort Stewart. I went to Savannah and I tried to surf, and that was stupid. So I went to the Savannah shore in the east of America, and I tried to surf there, and I ruined my forehead. It would literally I tried to surf and I hit my head on the sand, so my forehead was completely ruined. I went to formation the next morning, and my blood was still running down my face.
Yeah, I had something similar when I went surfing. Now I'm a big guy, and I tried surfing, and I wiped out right at the beginning, but the waves still carried me all the way to the fucking shore.
Yes.
And then some assholes tried to push me back into the water.
Right? Well, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to keep surfing. That's exactly right.
Mr. CZDB, I was making I'm a fat whale joke, but thank you for missing it.
It's all right, man.
I didn't miss that. I've surfed at Huntington and Redondo, so trust me, I know the fat whale joke. I get that. When I was in New Jersey, I was at Red Bank, New Jersey. It was, and I went to the shore, and it was nothing but those animals that sting you.
There's a lot of those, dude. Wasps, urchins.
No, in the ocean.
Stingrays.
They're not stingrays.
Jellyfish.
Jellyfish. Oh, there were so many jellyfish on Red Bank.
Yeah.
I literally got stung when I was swimming through Red Bank, and they stung me like crazy. I told my friends to not go into the water.
Did someone have to pee on you?
No, I can deal with pain.
No, you're not supposed to pee on someone with a jellyfish. That's a wives' tale.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
So literally, the ammonia in your urine can cause more of the unreleased,
stinging agent.
Yeah.
It would hurt more. Yes.
Yeah.
What you want to do is vinegar, which most people don't.
No,
take
you want to use water.
No, you want to use vinegar. It actually, but most people don't go to the beach with vinegar in their backpack. That's why people say that you need to pee on a jellyfish. You need to pee on it because you've got vinegar in your urine stream. Most people.
Well, people are wrong.
Yeah, it says soak the skin in hot water, not hot, not scalding, and then hydrocortisone cream twice a day. Is it carefully pluck visible tentacles with fine tweezers?
Well, it didn't matter. I still had to go to classes.
Yeah.
I still had to go to classes, so it didn't matter what that stung me.
Oh, apparently for some kinds of stings that does work, the vinegar.
Kronos, again, with the problems of definitions and words, jellyfish aren't really poisonous. They're venomous.
That is correct. And LDG can deny or accept that claim.
Well, the venom is a poison.
That is correct, yes.
No, because you can drink venom.
Poison. Well, the whole point is that they're trying to protect themselves, and so they inject whatever, poison they have. I've been bitten by spiders in my own house and not died. So yeah, they're venomous, but they're not necessarily deadly.
Yeah, I got bit by a brown recluse that I've got a little scar for in the back of my leg. And what the funniest part for me is I didn't even realize that I had been bitten until a friend of mine's mom was like, "Your leg is leaking."
Jeez.
Okay, yeah, and that's a big problem, especially for people that need actually to look at their legs and see if something is wrong. I changed the bandages yesterday. Tomorrow I get to take a shower.
Yay!
I know. I'm so excited.
That's
Tomorrow
gonna
I get to take a shower.
Nice.
But I have to change the bandages and then go to, because I ripped my ankle open when I pulled it out from underneath the truck. But
hopefully you have somewhat healed in the interim period of time since it happened.
No, it looks fantastic now. Obviously I don't have the skin all grown over it yet, but it looks fantastic compared to what it was when they took the stitches out. It looks fantastic.
I have good news for everybody. I just got the notification. I went live.
Oh, that's good. Oh, well, there you go.
Well, it's only been an hour, so let's see if anybody else shows up.
I did eventually finish that octopus tea cozy I was making for the tentacle teapot with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Did I show you guys the photo?
I think you showed us photos, but I don't think it was the complete one.
Let me see if I can find a photo on my phone. Here's one. Yeah, there we go.
My cousin makes tea cozies. She keeps asking me to, ask my friends to buy them for her, but I bought a set for her.
Hold on, I'm gonna solo you.
Yay! Isn't that cute?
Yeah, I definitely want one of those, but in the colors of an Octorok from Legend of Zelda.
It looks pretty good.
I like it.
Turned out.
Oh, Legend of Zelda. Good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
The way you ended the original game on Nintendo, right? You had to blast through the doorway into a little room, right? And that's how you won the game. I told my brother and my friend how to do it, and they chose not to for like a week, and then they blew a hole into the little chamber for what's his name to get into.
Link.
And then, Link. He won the game, and he was like, "Oh, how did you know that?" Well, because that's the only place on the map that didn't have a fucking place to go. It was kind of obvious.
Yeah, I think Ocarina of Time was the only game I ever finished.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I have still not finished Super Mario Brothers, the original Super Mario Brothers. I still have not finished that.
Well, I don't have video games.
I can't get past Bowser. I can't get past Bowser.
Well, hold on. I have a question for you. If you're using the warp pipes to skip levels, do you count it as finishing the game even if you didn't go through every level?
No, I went through every level, and I did the whole jumping on the turtle thing to get all the extra lives.
Yeah.
And I still could not get through the game.
Well, because I've told, friends that I've beaten Super Mario Brothers, but they say it doesn't count if you don't go through every single level. If you use the warp pipes, it's cheating or something. And I'm like, no, it counts.
It counts. It's part of the video game, right?
you finished the game. You won the game, but you didn't complete the game, right?
I didn't complete the game. I could not defeat Bowser.
Yeah.
I could not defeat Bowser, which means that I did not finish the game. And as a teenager, I was like, fuck this, I'm done.
Yeah.
Well, that goes back to the the title of the stream, the problem with definitions of words. I say I still beat the game, but
You did. You won the game, but you didn't complete the game. You won the game, but you did not complete the game.
I can honestly say that I have never finished Super Mario Brothers. I have never finished that game. And hey, Positive Candor.
Hey, Pasa.
Hey, Positive. Good to see you. You were on with the Austinator a couple of days ago, yes?
No.
Was it you? I thought it was you. It was someone else. I thought it was you. I know I saw you somewhere recently. I was like, lurking around the interwebs.
I do that a lot, actually, and I wait for streams that I actually want to be on.
Yeah, I usually just see who's streaming and pop in to drop a like and say a hello and then run off to bed or something, because it's usually late in the evening when people start streaming. I'm like, what the hell, man? Why are these people on so late at night? That's why I like this one, because it's on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Positive.
Daniel, one of the reasons I specifically started this stream at this time was because Anti-Trucker did his church stream, and then Bird would do a stream later in the day. There was no one streaming during this little block of time, so I was like, I'm going to stream there. And for, at this point, 176 weeks in a row, give or take a week, I've streamed from this time period.
Lovely. Sorry, you were going to say
like positive? 2 weeks out of that 176.
I do.
And go ahead, Positive.
Positive.
Yeah, Positive can say something. Hey, Positive.
Well, I was going to say, aren't you in the western part of Canada?
Yes, I am.
So you're in the Pacific time
yes,
zone.
But people start streaming at 9 o'clock at night. Oh, he's gone.
I
stream at 9
was
o'clock.
My fault. I accidentally hit the
Pacific
enter
time.
Button. Sorry.
Mother, father, Sunny Beach, ice hole.
But I have to get up really early in the morning, so I can't be staying up. I go to bed around 9:30 my time. So if people are streaming around 9 or 9:30 my time, which is midnight out in the east,
okay. Yeah.
I'm dead, man. I just can't be up. I have to get up early in the morning. So.
Yeah, when I first started, I was on the Insomniac stream, and so I ended up being early mornings a lot of times. Since I stopped doing Insomniac stream, I actually do early mornings now. So I love the CNA stream.
Mm-hmm.
Although we've basically been streaming at the same time for the last 3 years. But this is fantastic. I love being on the CNA stream.
Well, I appreciate everybody who ever joins up, even if I disagree with them, like Darren.
Darren's going to take it just the way he always has.
Yeah. So,
well, the thing is, Darren knows that I will agree with him when I believe he's right. But when I believe he's wrong, I will not agree with him.
So when are they ending daylight savings time?
November 5th, I think, is when we swap back to standard time.
Yeah. No, but I meant, when are they going to stop switching the damn clocks around?
I don't know. I don't understand.
They're not going to. The U.S. Senate said that they don't want to change it.
Yeah, I can understand that though, because for me,
well,
if we
just
stay on
the other.
If we stay on, the tendency would be to stay on daylight savings time, which means for me, the sun won't be up till almost 9 o'clock in the morning. And that is just way too late.
Yeah, well, that's what people complain about because of school, I guess.
Yeah.
I've got the blackout curtains in my
Well, then
bedroom.
just keep it on standard time. I don't care.
The thing is, the reason they don't want to stay on standard time is because they make more money in the summer when they can keep bars and golf courses open with like light late in the day. It's all about money. Okay. They're going to wind up staying with it for the money.
Yeah, it used to be about planting and harvesting.
That was just a lame excuse. Farmers are going to get up when they need to get up to get the work. They don't. It was always a lie about farmers. It was supposedly.
So does Canada have something in place to ever get rid of it or no?
There's a few places that stay on standard time. The province of Saskatchewan is always on standard time. But I mean, who the hell wants to live there? No offense to anyone from Saskatchewan, but holy crap.
Well, Arizona is one of the few states that never changes.
And do you stay on standard time or daylight saving?
Incorrect. There are certain areas of Arizona that do, and certain areas that don't, which sucks.
I said one of the few places.
Yeah, apparently one of the things that happens is places that have tried to stay on daylight savings time have actually ended up having to swap after a couple of years because everybody hates it that much more in the winter than they thought they would. Like it winds up throwing off your circadian rhythms or something, which sounds weird, but apparently people do not. It doesn't naturally work well to be on.
I can tell you from experience and life itself, it does not matter to me what time I get up in the morning. And so when the sun shines through my bedroom window, I'm like, okay, it's time to get up.
Yes.
Well, see, like part of that wouldn't work for me because I tend to try to start my workday as early as possible.
Yep.
So when it's like when I tend to leave the house, the sun hasn't come up yet. If the sun is already up and I'm leaving the house at 5:30, I think I'm late and it ruins the rest of my day, even though I'm still leaving at the same time. It's entirely my perception. It has nothing to do with reality, but it's still like I feel like I'm not accomplishing as much, even though I'm still starting and stopping at the same time.
And that's why I like Arizona time so much, because I don't ever have to change my watch. I don't ever have to change my clocks. I don't ever have to change anything because Arizona time is mountain time. We call it mountain time because California sucks.
What time is it for you right now, Mr. CCDV?
10 o'clock in the morning, or nearly 10 o'clock.
Okay, so you're the same as Pacific time. Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm on Pacific time right now, which is annoying because in November I'm going to be 1 hour ahead of you.
Right.
And
that's
Mr.
annoying.
Hold on. I want to go back to your little comment about California sucking. If California sucks so much, can you spread that around in Arizona just so all you freaking zonies stop coming to San Diego?
I would very much.
Zonies, you can't drive worth shit.
I would very much like for everyone in California to stop coming to Arizona. I would very much like that. If all Californians would stop coming to Arizona, I would be happy.
Well, the only reasons I go to Arizona are to see my sister and nieces, when I'm driving through it to get to another state, or when I'm sent there for work.
They are the smart people.
And Yvette, the reason that we do it a little later is because here in North America, they like to wait to change the clocks till after all the children have been out trick-or-treating. So they don't change it the weekend before.
Now,
after.
Here's the problem.
Well, hold on,
with,
Mr. CCDV. Positive was trying to say something.
So I might actually be coming to Arizona in 2 weeks or so.
Nice.
Oh, right on. Well, you're welcome to come to my house.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
Mr.
that-
CCDV, if I go to visit my sister, are you going to complain if this California visits you?
Absolutely not. If you guys want to go to the Grand Canyon, we can actually do that. We can go
On
to
your
the Grand
scooter?
Canyon.
On your electric scooter? That'd be fun.
Well, I will take my electric scooter, but I only have space for 5 people in my truck.
I was just kidding.
No, I've got my big daddy van. I can fit like 8 people in here.
We'll get into the park for free. I just need my electric scooter to get around the South Rim.
Nice.
But yeah, absolutely. I invite everyone.
South Rim or what?
Maybe
Grand
I can
Canyon.
convince
Oh,
the
okay.
younger Vile kid's mom to let me take them to the Grand Canyon with Mrs. Vile.
You guys don't understand that Arizona is not a flat desert place. It is. I live 7,000 foot elevation, and if I
Where do you
want to
live?
get something, I
Where do you
drive to
live?
Flagstaff. I drive to Flagstaff, which is 30 miles away. So, in my opinion, 30 miles is nothing. 60 miles is nothing. So
I think within an hour's drive is usually not considered too far away. I would agree with that.
right. And so any van or any truck or any bus or whatever the case may be, we can all get there and have a great time at the Grand Canyon South Rim. We can even take the train there if you really wanted to. I used to work for the Grand Canyon Railway.
Anyway, my friends, I am going to head out because I want to go for a hike today, and I still have a whole bunch of other shit I got to get done. So this has been a delight. I will see you all again soon. Bye, folks.
And you
All
have
right.
a lot of Sunday
I'm sorry
morning
you couldn't
stuff
stick
to
around
do.
for the whole show, but I'm glad you stuck around for the whole conversation.
Yes, I was happy to be here for the whole conversation.
Just my internet.
What part of Arizona are you in? Mr. CC.
Northern Arizona. Williams is city. And it
Williams?
See you, Dandelion.
is Williams. When you take Route 60, oof, I'm drunk. Sorry.
66?
Okay, when
Route
you
66?
take Route 66, it goes
Yeah.
through
Oh.
Williams, it goes through Flagstaff, and then all the way east.
I know Flagstaff is.
However, Williams is the first stop. Well, it used to be the first stop that you get to take a train to the Grand Canyon, south rim of the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, I think when I went there as a kid, that's where we'd stop. When me and Caddy went there, we were driving in from Texas, and we just stopped there for a few hours, and then we headed back into San Diego. So we didn't stay the night or anything.
Yeah, back in 1993, when the riots were all happening and stuff, I was like, I don't want to live in California anymore, and so my mother also agreed with me, and so we moved here. I joined the army separately, but yes, I feel that this is my home.
Yeah, I mean,
I graduated from Flagstaff High School.
Yeah.
So
Isn't the crater close to there?
say again.
Isn't the crater close to Flagstaff?
It is about 60 miles away from here. Yeah, the meteor crater that you're
Yeah.
talking about. It's about 60 miles away from here, and it is a fantastic site to walk around in.
Oh yeah, I've been there once.
Nobody ever gets to walk around meteor craters, but well, okay, you've been there once. I've been there once. Honestly, and the tunnels, the craters and things like that, tunnels in Ashford are incredibly fun to walk around in. Arizona has a lot in northern Arizona. Southern Arizona is just a desert. It really is just a desert. I hate southern Arizona.
Yeah, one of my brothers moved from there to Prescott area, basically to get away from the heat.
Oh, yeah, Prescott's not bad. They have a lot of turn signals and stoplights and stuff. In Williams, we have no stoplights. We have stop signs, which I am shouting out of my driver's side window, going, "It's not gonna turn green. Fucking move, asshole." Stop signs are stupid to most people because they
Well, do
live
they
in the city.
do so? Do people do California stops at the stop signs?
California stop signs
Where
wouldn't
you
bother me
basically
one bit.
where you
It would
basically
not.
kind of
If
roll
they
through it.
just go through it, that's
Yeah,
fine by me as long as they're not getting in my way.
yeah. Or do they just, or do you say that they kind of linger there at the stop sign?
They do. They're like, "Oh, I'm at a stop sign. I don't know what to do. Let everybody go. Everybody else go through the stop sign, and then I'll go through the stop sign." The morons, really.
Okay, so is it because of you that twice last week, or not because of you, but because of the little Arizona thing you're talking about, that I was at a stoplight. The guy in front of me had Arizona plates. He stops at the stoplight because it's a red light. Then, as once traffic cleared, before the light turned green, he decided to make his frickin' turn, even though the light was red the entire time.
That may very well be one of my friends, actually.
It happened twice last week. Once in El Cajon, which is, off the 8, which is, right into, Arizona and California. And once off
No,
of, actually the 8 freeway
I
in
did
La Mesa.
I did actually learn how to drive in California. I did learn how to drive in California. And so the 101 freeway, the 605 and the 91 were the freeways that I know the best. The 605 is the freeway that no, okay, so the 605 is the freeway that I know the best in Los Angeles. But I learned how to drive there, and then I moved to Arizona, and so it is possible that a Arizona driver did something stupid because California drivers, California license or the stoplights in California often are stupid as I can't even describe
I'll give you
how
that.
awful it is to drive in California.
I was stopped at a stoplight late at night in California not too long ago. And for some reason, the light cycled 3 times without my specific lane for my turn lane. the light to change.
Yes.
So I finally was like, screw this. There's no one behind me. I backed up, went into the center lane, and I just went straight to make a U-turn. And the light went off just fine. But I was like, what the fuck is wrong? Is the sensor not going off or something?
They don't have sensors under the ground like they do in a lot of places in California.
No, that's the thing is California has sensors that so many lights.
Yeah, exactly. They have so many sensor lights. And it's absolutely insane that they just do not let you move. It's crazy.
And we might be ragging on other areas, but trust me, there are bad drivers in every fucking country, every state, every county. So one of me and Mrs. Vile's favorite things to do when we're driving around Tijuana is to blame California drivers or Mexican drivers for whoever's driving like an asshole.
I also agree with that. Here's the thing. I got a DUI a year ago.
I'm shocked.
Right? No, you're not shocked. But I got a DUI, and so every time I drive, I have to be sober. And these fucking people, they're insane. It doesn't matter what state you're in. It doesn't matter what area you're in. If I have to drive into Flagstaff, I know I have to be sober. These other fuckers are they're all high on whatever drug they're taking because they are the worst drivers I've ever met. And I used to think that New Mexico was the worst drivers ever, but it's awful in Flagstaff. It's awful in Phoenix. I hate driving through Arizona. Maybe it's my problem.
We've been going for 2 hours. I think the whole conversation is over. So I think I'll go ahead and end the stream. LBG, are you there?
Yeah, Vile, I'm sorry I'm here, man. Things have been happening on the back end here. What's up? You're closing it down?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and close it down, but because it seems to be easier for you to play the videos than me.
Yeah. I got it. I got you. Not a problem. And take care, everybody. Be good.
Later, folks.
Klingons who hoorah!
Okay, that wasn't the right one. I'm fired.
More singing, more voices. Hail the Klingons who hoorah! Open Klingon style. Klingon style. Open Klingon style. Klingon style. Open Klingon style. Hey, sexy lady. Open Klingon style. Hey, sexy lady.
All right, you're 19 years old now. I figure it's about time you got one after all your complaining.